What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into it, just a quick shout out to Banggood. That's right, boys and girls, we made it.
Ma, get the champagne ready, we made it!
Banggood was kind enough to contact me about doing a review on a drone, since, you know, I fly drones. But before I go any further, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor and the YouTube algorithm a favor and hit the like button. I know you don't like doing it. I don't do it when I'm on YouTube, but I'm asking you, please hit the like button. Help this channel grow a little bit. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, because just look at this ratio. It's pathetic. This is the Eachine Cvatar. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, it has been out for a while. Since it was such a popular drone when it came out, I thought I would go ahead and ask the question, is it still good in 2021? We're gonna go over the specs, the aesthetics, and then later on in the video, we're gonna go out into the field and we're gonna put it through its paces to see if it in fact is still a good buy in 2021. Spoiler alert, it is. The name Cvatar derives its name from Cinewoop and Avatar combined, hence the blue color. I see what you did there, Eachine. First impressions of the design, this thing is built like a tank. It's got thick foam all the way around the outside edges of the ducts, which will help if you crash into a wall or hit the ground or anything like that. You're basically just gonna bounce right off of it. The plastic lining on the inside of the ducts doesn't feel cheap. It's pretty stiff, so I really don't see there being any issue with it cracking. I haven't seen any negative reviews online about that being an issue either, so I'm just gonna go with my own assumption and say it's gonna be durable, which is what you're gonna want if you're new to the hobby. There's two 2mm carbon fiber plates that kind of sandwich the whole drone together. That'll help with the rigidity of the quadcopter and the durability as well. The antenna mounts are made out of TPU, and there's even a nifty little pouch where you can slide in an RXSR, which is what I opted for, or even a Crossfire Nano will fit back there nice and easy, and there's still plenty of room. You can also fit the DJI Air unit if you ever wanted to upgrade to a digital system, but don't quote me on that. I opted for the 6S version for obvious reasons, and I'm gonna pair that with my tried and true go-to battery, the CNHL Black Series 1100 mAh. Hopefully it's not too heavy. They're not really known for being the lightest batteries, but I do love the fact that there's very minimal sag, and they just perform great, and they're not that expensive. So that's what I'll be using. CNHL, if you're listening, hook me up, man. I've been working on the corner for these. The motors are Eachine branded 1507 2400 kV 6S capable, like I said before. My version came standard with 5-bladed Gymfan D76 props. Now on to the meat and potatoes. This thing is sporting an F722 flight controller. It's also running 35 amp ESC, all on a 20mm stack, which fits nice inside of this quadcopter. I'm not gonna tear it apart because it looks like a real pain to get through all the bolts and whatnot, and I just don't feel like it. So take my word for it. It looks like it's gonna be very, very capable. With it being an F722, you're gonna get all the ports you need. It's basically future-proof. It's gonna have very low refresh rate. The 32 amp ESC is only BL S, so you're not gonna be able to do any of the RPM filtering, which is kind of a disappointment, but I don't think that was really a thing back then. I know BL 32 ESCs was, but the RPM filtering is kind of a new age thing. So if there's a V2 version coming out soon, which I believe there's a market for, I would hope to see a updated version of the ESC that goes into this. On top of the stack is also an Eachine branded VTX that goes all the way up to 800 milliwatts, which is great to see. A lot of these quadcopters, at least in my experience, I've only seen them go up to 400 milliwatts. To have an 800 milliwatt VTX is great. Last but not least, the camera they're using is the Runcam Nano 2. It's a 700 TVL CMOS camera. That's not really the greatest out there. It's not going to give you the same type of FPV picture quality as something like a Foxy or Predator, which I think goes all the way up to 1200 TVL. With it being Runcam, you can expect quality. You can expect that it's going to perform exactly as intended. All right, so now that all the boring stuff's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and cut to the field. We're going to put it through its paces and see if it really is a good buy in 2021. Let's go. the field. I found a pretty cool abandoned building here, so it should be a pretty good test for the VTX, which goes up to 800 milliwatts. I'm anxious to see if it can really penetrate all these brick walls, and there's a lot of dilapidated wood that's kind of laying around in there, and should make for some nice bobbing and weaving to see exactly how it handles. This battery we're just gonna run through. I'll have the FPV feed up also so you can see the clarity and whatnot. We're just gonna go explore basically, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts as we do it. So yeah, let me get these goggles on. Plug the old Cvatar in.
RSSI low.
ESCs are a little out of sync, but that's not usually a problem. GoPro's recording. Looks decent. Hopefully. Whoa, it's powering off. Why are you powering off? All right, so GoPro's recording. We're going to. So every time I say GoPro, it stops the recording. So GoPro, start recording. Also, forgot my damn lanyard, so we'll be holding this by hand. Hopefully I don't get all shaky thumbed. I should probably turn a little bit. Let's give it a go. Alright, so I should probably mention that I did change the rates on here. They're not completely stock. I just kind of lowered them because when it comes to these little Cinewhoops, it's nice to have slower rates. No. Oh, almost lost it. Okay, so the handling's good. Getting a little bit of breakup, which is to be expected. Gonna have to watch out for those freaking lines that are just everywhere. Try not to crash on top of this. I don't even know what this building was, but it's pretty ugly. Yeah, so far it's got plenty of power. It gets up there. The CNHL batteries, they've got a pretty high C rating, so I do expect it to get me where I need it to go. Hopefully I don't lose signal, because I am just using a regular ooh, a little bit of sag there, but that's okay. Let's go down this way so I'm not in danger of landing on top of that place. Yeah, I don't know if this was like a train station or something, but it's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. I do kind of want to get down in here and bob and weave a little bit just to see how well it actually handles. I'm just kind of nervous because the signal strength isn't that great, and you kind of run the risk of losing video feed, which is never fun. Go down this way. I'm also kind of like looking for any kind of line I can get so I can make a pretty cool little cinematic video at the end of this. We'll see. Yeah, I would say penetration is
RSSI low.
pretty f***ing good. Cut that out. I'm going all the way. I'm probably a few hundred feet away right now, I would say. Let's go this way. And it's cutting right through all this brick, no problem. So that's really good to see. I'm really kind of gaining some confidence here. Got a pretty cool spot over here. This is a little bit more open.
RSSI low.
Getting some RSSI lows, but I don't really care. I'll just walk over and get it if I need to.
RSSI low.
Signal breakup's pretty bad, but I'm a pro, so that's okay. Let's go up here.
RSSI low.
Another little cool spot over here. Let's take it up There and there. Yeah, this thing,
RSSI low.
I'm having really no difficulty navigating around here. This is great. Honestly, like, fantastic, honestly. It's a lot of fun. Go through this little metal area. Dip down. Through here.
RSSI low.
So, I mean, I'm getting RSSI low when I'm back over in this area, which, I mean, there's a ton of metal, ton of wood. Is this open here?
RSSI low.
See, I didn't even see that beam. That's how bad. That's how bad the view is. Come on, let me see something.
RSSI critical.
And we're getting a little battery warning. Let's go ahead and head back. Overall, I mean, this thing's great. Handles great, good signal strength. I'm at 6 minutes and 45 seconds on the battery, so pushing 7 minutes, just kind of cruising around. So that's really good. It's telling me to land now, but I want to. And it's landing itself. That was awesome. This thing has great handling. Motors have plenty of power. Battery life was 7 minutes. You can see in the FPV feed that the signal strength was pretty damn good for it cutting through all this nasty brick and wood and metal and all that other stuff. Actually pretty surprising. I'm betting DJI would have a much better go at it because it has much better penetration, but for an Eachine VTX at 800 milliwatts, no problem at all. You do have to kind of worry about some low-hanging wires or anything like that. There was a couple times where a branch came out and kind of snagged me, which you saw, or a metal beam that I honestly couldn't even see just because the fuzz was so bad. I've been flying for a few years, so I kind of know. I also did a bit of a walkthrough earlier, so overall thoughts, I would say probably an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's on the cheaper end. Everything's basically Eachine branded, which, like I said, they don't really have the greatest track record, but with this Cvatar, they really hit the nail on the head. And if you're in the market for a cheaper Cinewhoop, you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on some of the newer ones like the Beta FPV ones or the Cinelog that just came out, the 3.5 I believe it was, go for this one. And for my viewers, if you go to the link below, the Banggood link, and use the discount code that I'll have right here, you can get 30% off, which brings this thing from $200 down to about $160. Thank you, Banggood, for providing that to my viewers. Yeah, go ahead and check that out. We're gonna go ahead and get back to the bench and go from there. I'll give you my final thoughts. Maybe this is the final thoughts, I don't know. If this is the final thoughts, the video is just gonna end.